Hey you guys, this is the intro to the video. The video you guys about to see is us tearing apart a 400 for the Skylark. Now, the engine's at the machine shop right now. We're getting it punched 40 over because it needs to be cleaned up. And I want the engine to be reliable because there's an event coming up that I would like to do. There's a couple of them, and I need a dependable car to do that. The dart's not going to be painted by then. So, with that being said, once this gets shoved back together with the engine, you guys can see the bird taken apart. Once this gets shoved back together and we get this gone, we will drag the Skylark in here and we'll start metal work. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. We have a lot of new subscribers. I'm Austin, Borman Speed Shop. This is me and my dad. We do this stuff. And one more thing. The 400, the reason why I'm doing all this stuff, for one, it needs to be dependable. For two, those engines didn't have a lot of horsepower, and the ratings you do find are like I'm just going to give it 175 to 200 horse factory. And those are conflicting things. One place tells you one thing, another place tells you higher. Like I said in the previous video, I'm going to go for the win and say it's 200 horse. So anything I do to that to bump it up will make it better. Now, tomorrow there'll be another video released because I got a video on my phone. Dad is actually hurt. He had some of his diabetes happen. He has a hole in his foot. So we're hoping that'll heal. He's walking around in a crutcher, or a little like pirate leg thing. So I have another video that I'm going to upload tomorrow, or Wednesday or Thursday, of all the parts that's going to go in this 400 that I have at the moment. So, enjoy the video. See you guys next time. Stay tuned. There's more Ford stuff. There's more Pontiac stuff coming. And the reason why I'm building the Pontiac this way, I know I could have bored that 350 that's right there on the ground underneath that towel and did the same thing. Yes, that is a numbers matching block, and Dad may do that. But he don't know if he wants to put that in it or put a 455 in it. So, this was cheap. I'm still in it cheap. And I have a Pontiac beside the garage here that belonged to my uncle, who was passed. It is a factory 326 car. I'm not sure if its number's matching to the car though yet. And this 400, I could put in there just to drive the car around while I rebuild a 326 if its number's matching. So if it's not numbers matching, I will just go in it and stay in it. I'll sell the 326. But if I pulled out and its numbers matching to the car, then it'll go back in the car. Just to keep everything clear. That's it. Parts I do have that you guys will see in the videos: cam, headers, some odds and stuff, pistons. So roughly, let's give you guys an estimate, then we can get on to the video. The estimate for everything that we'll have in it, including machine work, is roughly maybe $1,300, roughly. Which, for a Pontiac that has a cam, is still pretty cheap. It'll be basically brand new because I have bearings. I'm going through it like we did the Dodge. Cam bearings, main bearings, rod bearings, gaskets, timing chain, oil pump. I mean, this thing will be dependable, and it's dependable for a good reason. When we get the Skylark in here, I'll say what the reason is, and we'll talk about it then. Or even when we're assembling the engine. Hell, I might do it next video. I'm not sure yet. So, again, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll bring you guys back after I release the video tomorrow or whenever I release the next video. After that video, I'll release the one with Machine Shop. Hopefully, I don't want to release it too soon because I would like to do the Machine Shop video and bring you guys along as we get it back. That way you guys can see what we have. That block was trashy. He actually took I don't see a can of it in here on the floor. Took oven degreaser and it cleaned it. That shit's some good shit. So we had to clean the water ports out, all that. So as always, guys, I'm gonna get off here and stop ranting. See you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Bye. Okay, guys, ripping the Pontiac apart. Something you want to do is you want to label, if your mains aren't labeled, which most engines your mains are labeled, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And this one you can't mistake. I mean, that's your rear. It won't fit anywhere else. But something you want to number is your rods. because all this works together and can't mix any of it up. We actually degreased it. It's shiny because they put PU Blaster to stop the corrosion from coming back onto it and being a nightmare. So while he's out grabbing a hammer for the punches, I'm gonna try to break this thing apart. Oh my god. Somebody must have went overboard with torque on that one. We'll just take the old camshaft that we're not going to use and throw it behind it.
What's that quick handle?
Something about Pontiac is they have a 2-piece dipstick that runs
3-piece with air conditioning.
3-piece with air conditioning. 2-piece if you don't run air conditioning. Which I'm trying to talk them into not running air conditioning, but it's not working. For some reason with air conditioning. I think it looks big and bulky and ugly under there, but I think it's like a regular.
Just everything else?
Yeah, sure. Which if I talk about it using air conditioning, we could change the dipstick. But I don't know, he's getting old and you know how old people like air conditioning. I mean, he is almost 50. He's getting old. And just like that, see? That's your one piece that's grimy. I'll have to clean that up. But I'm going to take these bolts because these are probably not easy to find. And I'm going to thread. Actually, going to make sure I get the washer because that washer is glued on there. Probably, more than likely, I'll throw that back in there. Because if I don't throw that back in there, I set it somewhere, I'll lose it. And I'll personally never hear the end of it. The rings actually, the lower rings are stuck though.
Yeah, I'm sure the rings are stuck. I mean, it's probably separate.
These ones spin free, but your oil rings seem to be stuck in there. Oh, there's one down. Remember, lock the lock on this. I'm sure you guys know this, but there's a tang here, right here. That tang has to match
Look how
that
good
tang
that
there.
mark. I did really good on that. You can make that plain as day.
And do not mix up sides because your engine will rattle and be noisy. I will say this again, if you guys are going to build a Pontiac, these things are freaking expensive. They're just as expensive as a small block Mopar.
And if you're going to knock these rods out and you're not experienced at doing it, then put something over them rod bolts.
By no means of my experience, no.
Because if you nick that crank, I mean, it'll take much. You go from having to have it polished or just reusing it to having to have it cut.
Here's a bearing, guys. Try to watch out so you guys can see. And they're not horrible, but at the same time, they're not getting reused, so. Alrighty, you guys, the rest of this is going to be fast one. We're going to pull this thing apart. You want to tell them what you found out?
Huh?
You want to tell them what you found out?
Pontiac engines, I guess, when I was stamping this, something didn't seem right. Pontiac engines, I guess, instead of like a Chevy, every engine I've ever done has the number one rod on the crank is number one cylinder. But on a Pontiac, it's not. Number one rod on the crank on a Pontiac is actually number two cylinder.
Yep.
So I got to number 4 and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? And I got kind of sketched out because I thought I really fucked up. But I've always marked when I tore an engine apart, I've never seen an engine that has the number 2 rod be the number 1 on the crank.
Not even Buicks.
No. Which I haven't put that Buick back together, so maybe Buick does. I don't know yet. I haven't looked up Buick. But I haven't worked on I ain't built a bunch of BPO motors.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, but I built Chryslers and I built tons of Chevys.
So with that being said, make sure you either mark that like that,
Yeah,
or mark it like you'd regularly mark and keep that in mind
when
when
we
you
started
put it
tearing
back
this apart, I started marking it just like I would a Chevy or a Chrysler or anything else. I started number 1 is the first rod, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So at this point, when I'm at number 4, I'm just going to keep going in order. We know number 1 rod starts first, because when we build an engine, we always start at the number 1 or number 8 and work backwards.
And because we're idiots.
How would I know that? That's what I got to looking at. I was like, man, this ain't looking right. Why is that like that? If driver's side is number 1, that's the number 2 on the journal. And you know which side's which, because Pontiac has a fucking starter on the driver's side. Pain in the ass. Okay, proceed. Now we're on number 5. All right, crisis of wood.
Okay, you guys. So here's why it's getting bored. Look at that ridge right there. That's a big ass ridge. Thinking 40,000 will clear it up.
I'm hoping. It's got a nice one, dude. That one's even worse. That was not so bad. That was not so bad. But further back to go, they never changed the oil, and it's got probably 20 fucking bajillion miles on it.
It's in every cylinder. So we're gonna knock freeze plugs out. This is where this is gonna end right here. Next time you guys will see us will probably be when I get pistons in. I'll run through the parts I do have for it.